What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're going to love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comment section to enter your name into the $50 giveaway I do every single week on this channel. It is Taco Tuesday, and you already know that's one of our favorite days, man. Now, look. If you play on multiple sports books, like you should be doing if you want to have the most success, then Taco Tuesday don't really matter that much. You know what I mean? Because, every day you're able to find the best value. You don't need a taco. You feel what I'm saying? But for those who are on PrizePicks, they're really, really thirsty for the Taco Tuesday. Why? Because Taco Tuesday is going to give you a pretty much a free bet or just a higher probability bet that just raises your chances as the day goes on to hit. Now, PrizePicks is one of those sites. Like sometimes there's just those sites out there that just they adjust their lines pretty quickly the moment they become in play. You feel what I'm saying? They're one of those sites. That's why I always tell y'all, like, try to get access to as much as you can. That way you could get, wherever the value is, man. I mean, most nights, my biggest wins are not on PrizePicks. They're on other sites. Okay, so like, just try it out if you haven't already. Anyway, the winner of yesterday's free monthly access to Props Made Easy is Jonquez Saucedo 43. Jonquez Saucedo 43. Hit me up on Twitter at cam_ATL so I can get your information, or you can hit up Props Made Easy directly at Props Made Easy and give them your information, and they can get you set up on your free month. All right. As always, thank y'all for joining me. The tools I'm using in this video is propsmadeeasy.com. It's only $20 a month for these tools. The reason why you need these tools is because they show you the top EV options for every single sport on every single sports book. And not only that, they're showing you top EV that also has AI sim projection after simulating the game 10,000 times on the same side of that line as well. You can click on a player's card and see their history over their last 5, last 10, last 15, last 20 season head to head. All the data you possibly need to make your choices you can find at Props Made Easy, and it's only $20 a month. No more paying $50 a month for a tool that don't even have simulation data, all this other stuff. Like, just save your money, lock in, and make more money than you've ever made on player props. Also, we have the Game Center at Props Made Easy, which you can just click this little thing up in the top right, and it'll switch you over to the Game Center and show you the best game picks. All right, money line. Look at all the markets available to take advantage of. All right, you've got all these markets to take advantage of, all amazing, like a whole bunch of options. You've got all these books to choose from when it comes to finding the best pick for that. So, and we have that for NBA, we have it for MLB, NHL, college basketball, all that good stuff, man. So take advantage. Props Made Easy is only $20 a month, man. Lock in. All right, let's get into the best picks for today. As always, put your favorite two-man down in the comment section for your chance to win free monthly access to Props Made Easy. All right? Let's get straight into it. Now, first thing I immediately do is go to favorite EV. All right, I have favorite EV selected. Now I know that every play that I'm seeing on the board here have minus 140 or higher consensus odds when it comes to just sharp books. Okay, that way I know I'm making the professional level type picks immediately, right? I'm going to select all the DFS books, and we're going to see where the absolute best plays are. Now, the top the top two man right now would be Daylon Wright under 17.5 PRA, which is an 8.4 EV on better, minus 146 consensus odds on the under throughout the industry. 18 books have his PRA available right now. AI sim projections on the under as well. And we know, because he's showing here, that the sharp books are at minus 140 or higher as well. So Daylon Wright under 17.5 PRA is a great option. As you can see, this is on better. You can pair that up with Justin Edwards over 18.5 PRA at a 6.3 EV on better. Minus 139 are the consensus odds across 27 books that have this line available. AI sim projections on the over as well. And then, because he's showing here, that minus 140 or higher on the sharp books alone as well. So amazing pairing there to start the day. Daylon Wright under 17.5 PRA paired up with Justin Edwards over 18.5 PRA on better. Then you have Rudy Gobert over 10.5 rebounds over on underdog is a 6.69 EV. Minus 134 the consensus odds on the over throughout the industry. 45 books have his rebounds available. AI sim projections on the over as well. And then we know that because of him being here, as I keep repeating, they have minus 140 or higher when you just look at the sharp books. Now, if you're new to this, sharp books refers to the books that don't limit professional bettors. So obviously, if professional bettors are able to play comfortably on these sites, their lines are going to be more solid because the professional bettors are making smarter choices. Whereas some of these sites limit all the professional bettors, and the only action that you're getting are stupid bettors. No offense to anybody who may be stupid in here, okay? But I'm just saying, all right? Some other great options. Kentavious Caldwell Pope. Under 13.5 PRA is a 6.14 EV on PrizePicks. Minus 136 are the consensus odds throughout the industry. 33 books have this line available, which make up that consensus of minus 136 on the under. AI sim projection on the under. And then obviously the minus 140 are on the sharp books. Buddy Hield, over 8.5 points over on Dabble. 5.94 EV percent, minus 138 consensus on the over. 16 books have this line available at the moment. AI sim projection on the over as well by almost a full point. Really like that spot on Buddy Hield's over 8.5 points on Dabble. Corey Joseph, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, two more better picks. Corey Joseph, under 14.5 PRA, minus 137 consensus odds on the under. 30 books make up that under consensus. AI sim projection on the under as well. Okay? And yeah, so just amazing option there. Kentavious Caldwell Pope, under 13.5 PRA. We already talked about him. We know that his consensus odds are solid, making it solid EV, as well as we know that the sharp books are minus 140 or higher. So again, these are going to be your absolute best plays. Why? Because not only are you able to find those high EV plays, but you also know that they're sharp plays as well. Because we know that the only plays showing here are minus 140 or higher juiced on sharp books, which is good, solid juice out of these sites that aren't limited. You feel what I'm saying? So really like that spot there. All right, I really love those spots. Now we're going to switch over to the regular ones for NBA, and we're going to go ahead and select FanDuel, DraftKings. I like playing on Fliff and Novig. All right, we're going to take these off. Boom. And we're just looking at the regular books. Now, these are all favorite EV. Now, when it comes to the regular books, favorite EV is going to show you plays that are already favored on that book. That way, you're taking less risk while also taking high EV. OG Anunoby. I know I'm not saying his name right. But over 2.5 three-pointers made. Already favored on Novig at minus 120 odds. 8.35 EV percent due to consensus odds being all the way up to minus 144.5 on average out of 57 books. All right, AI sim projection on the over as well. OG, over 2.5 three-pointers made is a fantastic option here. Nikola Jokic, over 1.5 steals and blocks is already favored on DraftKings at minus 135 odds for the over. 6.98 EV with the consensus odds being almost minus 160. Out of 12 books that have Jokic steals plus blocks available right now, their consensus is almost minus 160. So great spot there as well, and it's already favored on DraftKings, so plays like this are going to be less risk as well. Franz Wagner, over 4.5 assists, already favored at minus 120, 6.83 EV, minus 139 consensus on the over out of 62 books. That's the opposite of what you saw here for Jokic. Both are great options, but which one would you want to choose? This one right here, even though the EV is slightly lower. Why? Because this is at a 62 sample size. 62 books have this line available, and they're averaging minus 140 odds. And it's already favored on DraftKings at minus 120. You're getting it at minus 120 where it's minus 140 everywhere else. So obviously, better value here, and you want to take that. Daylon Wright, over 3.5 rebounds, already favored on FanDuel at minus 122 odds, 6.51 EV percent, minus 141 consensus odds on the over. Out of 34 books that have this line available, AI sim projection on the over as well. And another thing that is an absolute game changer is the fact that the plays that show on the tool not only have the EV situation, but are also going to have that AI sim projection on the same side of the line as all the other data as well. We're making sure we put the absolute best plays in front of you at Props Made Easy. We're not going to show you a play that has a 5 EV, but AI sim projections on the opposite side. We want every box to check. You feel what I'm saying? We're checking every single box. We want not only all of the Vegas data to correlate, but we also want the simulation data after simulating the game 10,000 times to be on that same side as well. That way every box checks and every pick you make can be the safest possible option for you, okay? And that long term is going to help you even more and why I always encourage like the newer players to go ahead and lock in with Props Made Easy, because not only are you paying less than any of these other tools are, but you're getting way more data, and every play showing it just absolutely has every box checked. Okay, if you're going over 5% EV, you're going over 5% EV plays that are, all of the Vegas data correlates with, as well as AI sim data as well. So it's just a lot of data that goes into these plays that show here. All right, with that being said, let's go back to the DFS books real quick. Hold on. Let's go back and select all the DFS books. And then update, and then go to MLB. Let's take a look at MLB favorite EV. Nothing too crazy when it comes to favorite EV for MLB right now. You have a 3.85 EV on DraftKings Pick 6. Their payout structure is a little eh. The EV's not as big of a deal over there, just because at the end of the day, you just want the highest chance to hit you could possibly get over on DraftKings Pick 6. So a two-man that you can go with here is Shane Baz, over 4.5 strikeouts, has minus 150 consensus odds throughout the industry out of 36 books. AI sim projection on the over as well, giving this play over a 55% chance to hit on his over 4.5 strikeouts. Will Warren, over 3.5 hits allowed, minus 150 almost consensus odds out of 29 books. AI sim projection on the over as well. So these two plays are solid, decent options. But again, as always, you want to try to get those 5% or higher EVs if you possibly can. Now let's look at all EV. Now, when looking at all EV, Underdog is at the top of the list right now. There's not a lot of PrizePicks. We'll look at just PrizePicks in a second. But Luis Torrens, over 0.5 bases at a 5.08 EV percent. Minus 129 consensus odds on the over throughout the industry out of 37 books that have his line available. AI sim projection on the over as well for Torrens. Nolan Jones, over 0.5 bases at a 4.93 EV, minus 129 consensus. AI sim projection on the over as well. A lot of bases at Javier Baez, over 0.5 bases at a 4.92. Now we're dropping under that 5% EV, but again, for baseball, you may have to do that consistently because the lines are pretty damn tight. Now again, as you can see, when it comes to all of the DFS books, you don't have a ton of amazing options for the DFS books. Now watch this. I'm hoping me saying watch this is going to end up looking cool. But anyway, so you unselect, and then you go to FanDuel, DraftKings, Fliff, Novig, and you look at the regular books, right? Look at how much higher these EV options are. Look at them. Now, as I've always said, you want to focus on the favorite EV options, but the all EV, here's the thing. The higher the EV, these 8 EV ranges, right, that have minus 111, instead of it being like minus 120 or higher, as you know, for these regular books, for them to show under favorite EV, they already need to be favored on that book minus 120 or higher odds, right? That's why if I click favorite EV, those 8s aren't showing because they're not already favored, okay? Again, this favorite EV allows for the people to take less risk, the people with the smaller bankrolls, right? Because not everybody is that's the issue in the industry, is a lot of these guys are like, hey, play this huge EV spot plus 150, blah, 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 blah. A lot of the community doesn't have the bankroll to take many of those losses. Yes, long term, will that be profitable? Yes, and as I always tell y'all, these plays are fantastic plays for long-term success, okay? But a lot of people don't have the patience or bankroll to handle the long-term part of things. They need kind of a little bit more consistency, right? So favorite EV will give you the more consistent, safer options of the bunch while still being able to get that solid EV. So Victor Scott II, over 0.5 bases, is favored on Novig at juicy minus 155 odds. Minus 180 are the consensus odds throughout the industry, though, out of 35 books. So obviously, you can get it at minus 155. That's amazing. So he's highly likely. Victor Scott II is highly likely to get a base today. And yes, you're getting it at 155 odds, but it's still very good, solid EV at 5.93 due to consensus being at minus 180, and you're getting it at minus 155. Shane Smith on FanDuel, under 4.5 strikeouts, is already favored on the under at minus 128 odds. Across the industry, Shane Smith is expected to go under at minus 146 consensus odds out of 35 books who have that. AI sim projection on the under as well. So good spot here, grabbing that at minus 128. Spencer Torkelson, over 0.5 bases, already favored at minus 125 on Novig. 5.03 EV, minus 140 consensus out of 37 books available. AI sim projection on the over as well. So those are going to be your absolute best plays. Victor Scott II, over 0.5 bases. Shane Smith, under 4.5 strikeouts on FanDuel. Spencer Torkelson, over 0.5 bases on Novig. Again, let me reiterate. Just because Victor Scott II is a great play on Novig doesn't mean Victor Scott II would be a great play on FanDuel, because their odds are going to be different. The reason he's a great play on Novig is because of the differential between where you're getting the line compared to where the consensus is. Now imagine Victor Scott II on FanDuel is at minus 180. You're not going to want it. The differential is going to be nothing, and the EV is going to be incredibly small comparative to the industry, right? Because the industry is at minus 180 and FanDuel's at minus 180. I'm just giving an example. You want it at the minus 155 odds. That's what makes it EV. A lot of people in this industry too will see somebody put a bet. Even I see people all the time on X just putting a bet, not even saying what sportsbook, just putting a bet. Hey, I like this bet today. Not even putting a sportsbook. Like, at the end of the day, you got to play it where it's the EV, y'all. You have to play it where it's the EV. If you're not, and you're just taking like Shane Smith on DraftKings at minus 145 odds, that's not an EV spot. His EV is on FanDuel where you're getting it at minus 128. Okay? You don't want to take it on DraftKings because then it's not as high as EV. You want it where the value is. And Props Made Easy will put you on that play wherever it is. All right? Thank y'all for joining me as always, baby. Let's keep getting this money. Real quick, just looking at PrizePicks solely because I know a lot of people just play PrizePicks, which I hope you guys are expanding by at some point soon. No favorite EV at the moment, but all EV. Kyle Stowers over 0.5 bases is the top option right now. As the day goes on, we're going to have more options pop in here. MLB Demons and Goblins, let's see. We have Drake Baldwin over 0.5 batting strikeouts. He has a season hit rate of almost 86%. Again, the sample size isn't crazy high for him. It's only after over last 7 games. Kyle Hendricks over 1.5 strikeouts. He's hitting over 82% out of a sample size of 34 games. So that's a bigger sample. Obviously, we want to take the plays that are the bigger sample. So Kyle Hendricks over 1.5 strikeouts would be the way that I would go here when it comes to the Goblins. All right. And real quick, I didn't touch on NBA Demons and Goblins. Let's go to NBA Demons and Goblins. The best option is Chris Paul over 9.5 points plus assists when it comes to the Goblin. He's hit this in over 90% of the season. All right. When you look at the season, he's gone over in 74 games. Well, this is a 74-game sample, and he's hit it in 90% of 74 games. Equivalent of like a minus 1,000 money line almost. So very strong odds of him to hit again here, over 9.5 points plus assists. All right? Thank y'all for joining me, man. PropsMadeEasy.com, only $20 a month. Lock in, level up, and I'll see you on the next one, man. Happy Taco Tuesday. I'm out.